What is posthumanism? Posthumanism can be broken down into 5 clear definitions. Anti-humanism: any theory that is critical of traditional humanism and traditional ideas about humanity and the human condition. Cultural posthumanism: a cultural theory that examines and questions the historical notions of human and human nature. Philosophical posthumanism: a philosophical direction which stands to examine the ethical implications of moral concern. Posthuman condition: the deconstruction of the human condition by critical theorists. The last definition of posthumanism, though, can be seen as an ideology or a movement which seeks to develop and make available technologies that eliminate aging and greatly enhance the human intellectual, physical and physiological capacities, the transhumanism. His main goal is to achieve a post-human future. Posthumanism differs from classical humanism by relegating humanity back to one of many natural species, thereby rejecting any claims founded on anthropocentric dominance. According to this claim, humans have no inherent rights to destroy nature or set themselves above it in ethical considerations a priority. Human knowledge is also reduced to a less controlling position, previously seen as the defining aspect of the world. The limitations and fallibility of human intelligence are confessed, even though it does not imply abandoning the rational tradition of humanism. The only solution to modify our biological is lying through technology. Although many of them can be foreseen, we are unable to determine how long it would take to develop them. Thus, the focus will be on function rather than form. Humanness will be defined by how a species operates. In other words, whether it processes information like a human. Is it sentient, empathetic, intelligent, and such, rather than how it looks? Transhumanism, as a contrast with posthumanism, which can be understood by a new concept of human, is an intellectual movement and an ideology who aims to transform the human being condition, to create and develop technologies to increase their intellectual, physical, and psychological capacities. Transhumanism studies the potential outcomes and benefits as well as the dangers that human limitations could face, and the ethics issues from using these kind of technologies. The most common thesis is that human beings may eventually be able to transform themselves into beings with abilities so greatly expanded as to merit the label post-human. The year 1990 is seen as a fundamental shift in human existence by the transhuman community. As the first gene therapy trial, the first designer babies, as well as the mind-augmenting World Wide Web all emerged in that year. In many ways, one could argue the conditions that will eventually lead to the singularity were set in place by these events in 1990. The singularity, in common words, is the event where the artificial intelligence would use a process called recursive self-improvement and will be able to redesign robots or computers better than itself. If a repetition of this cycle would be to happen, it could cause an intelligence explosion where machines would create on its own an intelligence who would exceed far from the intellectual capacity and control, and therefore it could never be equaled. It also implies that mind uploading could be possible in a fusion with artificial intelligence. Singularity is feared and has been causing a lot of criticism to transhumanism. Some say that mind uploading is impossible, pointing to the assumptions implicit in the concept, the idea that you, yourself, mind or soul, is something distinct from your body. But we can assume that it can be perfected, so mind uploading can be seen as an ontological fail, and since the concept of artificial intelligence is central to the singularity, the complexity break may delay it, if not make it forever unobtainable. All tools can be used for good or evil, and transhumanist technology has a number of what might be called direct dangers. 3D printers can print unregistered guns for the wrong people. Nanotech molecular assemblers can become tabletop drug labs. Mind enhancement could be used by criminals to enhance their criminal abilities. Biotechnology could be used to create terrorist bioweapons. It then lights out one big fear that we all have once thought about: the fact that machines could gain power over humankind. Criticism is centralized on a point, where a technology could get out of control on itself or in hands of the individual, with a risk of damaging society or at worst destroying it. For many, possible dangers attached to them will always trump possible benefits, and elevating existing poverty or inequality will always take precedence over advancements that will benefit only the relevantly wealthy. As we saw, the thalidomide and metal on metal hip implants, being an early adopter can be risky. So perhaps we should not worry about the rich financing transhumanist biotech. They'll be the first guinea pigs, and you can get it when it's cheaper, better, and safer. If humanity had always viewed technology through the lenses of the precautionary principle and equal access, we'd still be arguing whether to allow this invention called fire.